All right, folks, we're back at it. The Patrick Gayle show. Coach Gayle does not have his background today, but it's all good. He's got it blurred out. He's doing his thing because nothing is easy, Coach. We see the shirt says nothing easy, Coach. Coach, what's up with you, brother?
Preseason mode, JR. So every day trying to get ready for the season. So we make ourselves as uncomfortable as possible to try to get ready for that long season. Basketball, man, we go through 2 semesters. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a grind. That's what a lot of basketball coaches say, right? It's a grind.
It's a great Coach. Before I get started, Coach, I gotta tell you something, man. On my walk this morning, of all things, Coach, why in the world was I encountered by spider webs, Coach? What? Coach, around the tree, like why? Of all the days, Coach, while I'm on the phone with somebody, it was spider webs all around me, Coach.
J JR, I'm gonna start with scripture because we need it right now. I was searching for the right scripture when I was speaking to someone yesterday, and just so happened this morning watching with my daughter. I got to spend some time with my daughter this morning. It's gonna be her birthday tomorrow, so happy birthday to my daughter Isaiah. But we found the scripture I was seeking yesterday, which was First Peter 5:8, and it just says, in synopsis, just be careful, beware, because the devil roams as a roaring lion. And I know everybody that reads scripture knows that scripture. So just beware, JR. We want to make sure that we're strong in the flesh and we're covered. I'm sorry, we're strong in the spirit and we're covered because the flesh is weak and the devil roams and we battle against principalities of darkness. And the reason why I mention all this is because of what you said on your walk. You know, we can't take those walks for granted, JR. We don't know what we may encounter. So just
Yes.
make sure, all coaches out there, all parents out there, all student athletes out there, because that's the advice I gave. I couldn't find the right scripture, but I did refer her to a couple of pastors. But to all the mentors out there, just be careful, which means just pray. Just make sure you're making that a practice. You know what's funny? We spend more time on our phones, more time downloading information from social media and on our phones than we do downloading from our universe in either sleep or meditation or prayer. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
When you scroll and when you're looking at social media, you're looking at algorithms. You're basically getting brainwashed by AI. And we have to be aware of that because you get brainwashed from either your creator, the universe, or from man, which is AI. So we have to be aware of that.
Or you can get your clean glass of water with in class with car and go over our conceptual categories we talk about every week on the show here: governance, social structure, ways of knowing, culture meaning making, science, technology, movement, and memory. These six conceptual categories can help you understand why we are where we are and how to navigate these things.
Don't we need it? Don't we need those teachings even more from Dr. Carr with the
Yes,
world we're living in right now?
yes, and you can start with episode one, and we'll go your way all the way up because it's on the podcast now. You don't got to go to videos now. It's less the cars now as a podcast. And when I'm driving this weekend to Nashville, then Indianapolis, that'll be what's in my playlist. I'm listening to Dr. Carr, that clean glass of water, and listen to his teachings to help guide me through what's going on, what's happening this weekend, which has revealed a lot about us as a people and why we can't get ahead.
And,
It's
and and the funny thing is, a lot of what's happening now has already been predicted, years ago because of understanding what we are up against. So that is a very good segue, JR, to what you said. And I can't believe people speak down on, that education, and like you said, that we need that clean glass of water.
Yeah, because hopefully Dr. Carl will join us in the near future. That's the hope.
We're praying for that. We're praying for that, JR. We're praying for it.
That's what we plan on happening. So he's a busy man. He teaches 4 classes: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. He teaches classes. So we're gonna work around it. And he's on the radio too on Sirius XM. So but he will make time for the Patrick Gayle show because he believes in what we're doing, coach.
Well, JR, you're giving them too much, man. You're giving them too much.
Well, that's fine. But Dr. Carr has a special fan out there. I want his special fan to hear this because I know he loves him so.
Well, well, it's funny how we're always coordinated, man, because I just happen to see this and throw this on. Actually, this is the first time I'm seeing it for months because I have a child that loves to steal my stuff when he gets home, but it's funny how we're coordinating with the colors, man. The black colors is rocking today, man.
Yeah, because it's black. Hey, we're black all day, every day. We black, you know, more than ever. The silver and black. Cause see, I'm not a Raider fan per se. I like the color of the hat.
Well,
Which are why I can't find. I want a Brooklyn Nets B hat, but those things sell out fast.
yes, they do. Yes,
I
they
want
do.
that black B on my head to say bleed for not Brooklyn Nets, but black.
Well, yeah, I remember back in the late 80s and 90s when, man, that Raiders hat was very popular from some rappers from South Central LA.
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah, that sends back memories, that Raiders cap that you're talking about. The Georgetown cap too was popular back then as
Yes,
well.
I had one of them snapbacks back in the day.
Yeah, yeah, man. Those were the days. Those were the days.
Yeah, man. You know what, coach? Been around baseball, a great sport. Not wiffle ball, but baseball, a great sport. These hats, man. Some of these hats the baseball team got are sick. They ain't nice. Like I gotta give me a Kansas City Royal hat. It really that blue just pops. You know what I'm saying?
Or as your dad would you'll probably say, son, Monarch's cap is what you're saying.
Yes, the Monarch. Yeah, yeah. Dr. Carr, my dad calls it white man's league baseball. That's what he calls the MLB. He said, "No, that's white man's league baseball." We just
I was thinking about that last night, and I'm getting, older now, and just thinking back and kind of what you talked about with the clean glass of water. There's a generation of people that don't even know what a green book was back in the day, and how you said you were, off the air, what you would be doing with your schedule coming up, and you know what I do often, but they we have young people that don't even know what the colored green book was and how important that was. And in what we do and in the environment that we're in, how important that is even now, not just for safety, but for communities and businesses and the power we had in such against so much hatred and so much adversity, how beautiful and how powerful we were in the things that we created and invented.
no doubt, coach. Like for me, going to the black bookstore with my father. That's why Dr. Carr, what he do is normal to me because my dad took me to black bookstores and bought books about who we are. You know, got books on Conrad World, Ron Walters, John Henry Clark, W. Du Bois. You know, talk to me about Paul Robeson and how what they'll do to you if you don't agree with them. So I got this teaching. Dr. Carr teaching is like reinforcing what my father put in me as early as 3 years old. And let's be honest, I was with my father before 3, but I didn't know what the heck I was looking at. You know, I was around. So that's just what it is, man. Like I don't think part of it is I set up with our homes too, where the man may be out of the home or was a co-parent in this situation or whatever. It's not that, hey, get up on Saturday morning, wants to the black bookstore or come meet to Crystal to hang out with my homeboys to get knowledge. Because I got a lot of knowledge of Crystal Coach. The Crystal on Northside Drive, got a lot of bunch of knowledge there from my father and his homies. They're sitting there and listening to them at Crystal's as a young dude while they talk around the table at Crystal, having coffee on Northside Drive there.
I remember going to Washington, D.C. in the summers when I used to live in New York, and my exposure to black bookstores is when my um, uncle who was a Howard, who is not was, who is a Howard alum, would take me to those neighborhoods, close to Howard, and just kind of teach me how to read and how to you know take. I guess I use your metaphor that just drink clean glass of water because we have to be very mindful of what we put in to our spirit and into our minds, and we have to go back to what we did in the past, which was to narrate and to tell stories to the elders would speak to the young people. Now you have elders that's afraid to talk to the young people, and thank the Lord for young people that do seek the counsel and knowledge of elders. But we have to go back to that, man. That's where it starts. We always would give narrations and speak about when we were their age and what to navigate and look for. So we have to get back to that first and foremost. Like you said, first you got to be in the house to do that. First you got to be in the house to speak. But I remember, reading books and hearing stories of how families would travel and they would pack food, they would pack bottles because they knew they couldn't go to restrooms, they knew they couldn't go and buy food, with these long travels. And we traveled no matter what time period, no matter what we were going through, we traveled. We always navigated the world.
Yes, and you know what? And you know what, Coach? Is some you said is what some of my father said. The farther we got away from the last, more divided we've become because people have gotten close to whiteness enough to where they feel like they ain't got to turn back inward anymore, right? They're good. So, and I'm seeing that. This week, what happened this week on social media, I'm seeing people commenting. I'm seeing in general, like when I come to these, go to little league football games or go talk to the high school games, I'm seeing that just the division or how is this the haves and have-nots, man. And like now, even in public schools, they become so specialized. They're magnet schools now. So you're forcing certain kids, certain places that's not even not the neighborhood school no man's gone. It's magnet or this and that. So I didn't see all these things that bring us apart. We should be turning inward and coming together. That's why, to quote Karen Hunter, we need to bring our bricks together and figure out what we got here, man. Because like we're in a battle. But you don't understand, we're in a battle, diasporically in a battle too. It's just an instrument enterprise, but all over the diaspora. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, my dad's time, they were together. They had a common goal, a common mission. But now as we got away from that, got some similar to freedom. Those who have assimilated and gotten a certain level of resources and forgot about people like the little guy behind them. So it's kind of why we are the way we are. That's why
Well, JR,
information is so important.
what do I keep telling you, man? I'm just a little old D2 guy, so I can't speak to any semblance of what you're talking about because I'm a little old D2 guy. I'm a nobody. I don't know anything. How dare I, be even on a platform with you, JR? So I don't know what you're talking about.
I tell them, coach, I own it because I say own it, ownership. If I want to have on Coach Gayle, I will. If I want to have on, I will. You know what I'm saying? If I want to talk to another NBA coach, I will. You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
well, again, like I said, I'm just speaking from the spirit, but please understand that Again, like I said in the past, it's crazy that people will actually let titles that that man gives them that make them feel like they're superior to anybody. It's just crazy because I have a great relationship with. Matter of fact, in one of the workouts, as a young man that um, I'm very tight with on campus, and he mentors and he coaches young people, and he's talking to me and just kind of like what we're trying to accomplish that morning, and I'm trying to learn from him, and I've been learning from him, since I've met him, and the biggest thing that I've learned from him is just to have that lasting spirit of energy. As you get older, JR, and you're doing the same things every year as a coach, you have to not only find different ways to get your guys motivated, you got to find different ways to get yourself motivated. And everybody wants to win, but who wants to do the things that it takes to win? That's what separates. But at the end of the day, it has to be habits that you're developing. So one of the things that I believe in strongly is I can't ask my guys to do anything that I'm not doing myself. And
Mhm.
again, JR, I'm just a lowly, what'd you say before? That short ass coach. Hey, but one of the things that Coach White and I have is we have personal pride. A lot of times we're not just talking about X's and O's. We're not even talking about basketball. He's been through a lot in his life. I've been through a lot in my life, and it started from day one. That's why uh Prodigy and Mobb Deep was one of my favorite groups because they didn't speak about, a lot of the things that people thought they were speaking about. Prodigy was talking about physical pain that he went through. And if you have, sickle cell, you understand what he was talking about, you
Mhm.
know. So when people kind of want to judge and want to call out, certain things about other people, they have no idea what people are going through, you know. So I feel that when I'm around other coaches, no matter how they look, no matter what they do, you're not a coach because somebody gave you a title of coach. You're a coach because of what you do and your actions and your impact. And I always look at a person's impact more so than their title. So I say all this to say we have to really kind of what you just said about, bring your own brick. I love that statement. We have to understand what value do we bring to others. That's what I was telling my team, what value do you individually bring that can help the team get better? And there's something to always work on, but there also is something of value that you have. That's why you're here and present. So be present with what you have and then bring your brick to build up. We should always be thinking about building up,
Yeah,
not tearing down,
not
not
tearing
calling
down.
somebody
Read my
less.
mind, not tearing down, coach. And I will tell you, coach, what I deal with personally. I don't talk about on air, but just know winning at Morehouse did a lot for more than me than you ever know, coach. I'm serious about that. For what that meant to me personally and where it was at and what I was dealing with, that win meant more to me than you ever would know, coach.
Well, that's because you're invested, JR. That's because I mean, again, you bring value, but you invest what you have, and we appreciate it. So, yeah, of course it's going to mean something to you because you've made the sacrifice, you invested.
So yeah, so
Speaking of which, JR, we have some more of your investments that you'll be giving us September 25th at 6 p.m. at Cornerstone Cafe in Albany, Georgia, right across the street from the Georgia Aquarium, where we'll be doing our formal meet and greet with the 2025-26 men's basketball team. So we appreciate you, JR, for all that you're going to be doing to help us that day. And we hope to see a lot of people there to support us and to meet us.
yeah, I look forward to it. I'm gonna have some surprises for you all when I get there. I look forward to that. Gonna have you some good music, and we might do some karaoke even. But not the kind I like personally, but we do some karaoke, not the kind I prefer, but some karaoke.
Hey, what were we told? Don't give away everything now.
Yeah, I'm not giving away. Yeah. Well, I might have a song or two for somebody who
Don't,
makes sure
don't
when
give
I show up.
don't give away everything. But man, let me say this, man. I'm excited. Every morning I wake up to be alive, to have an opportunity to walk in what purpose I have, and I, implore everyone to walk in their own purpose. Be excited, find positive things in your altar, not just what you're being brainwashed to put in and idolize, and spend more time in prayer and meditation. Leave the man-made programming alone.
I
You can
know.
learn a lot. This morning we were watching birds, and you can learn a lot watching just nature and seeing how they navigate and operate. And it's funny because my daughter was like, "Oh, they're eating the leftovers," and I was like, "No, they every morning they forage and they hunt because they know God will provide. So they don't have to, they'll store for the little chicks, but they go out and they forage, and you have to put work in to seek, but God provides. And to me, that was a metaphor for us. You have to go do the work, but God will provide every day. Every day that you're alive, you have to go out there and do something.
And our quotes of my father would always say, he was like, you get into the universe what you put in the universe. That's why I put things out there that I want back. You know what I'm saying? Like Coach said previously in a previous statement, he don't ask this guy to do nothing he wouldn't do himself. That's me too. I don't ask anybody to do anything I would never do myself. That's something I'm all about, and that's why I do what I do in private, of course, helping people and or not helping people. Now, so I do what I do in private. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't need accolades for what I do or don't do, and I just want to be a part of something that's good. If it was good for and it's good for us and helping us liberate ourselves, because as Sanchez says, Coach, how does it free us? It ain't freeing us. I don't want to be a part of it. This is where I am with it now, man. Because we're in a diasporic war, man. Like we gotta look beyond just these artificial borders. We got to come together globally and
Well,
back back over on our island, Coach, and then on in Barbados or in Ghana where I got family is. So we have to do that, Coach. So that's what my whole focus is, man. That using this platform I got to educate, enlighten, and enhance, and to get people to come seek that clean glass.
Well, JR, it's like I told my guys this week when we had one of the challenging days, and I said the easiest way to defeat someone is someone that's already defeated from within. So we got to stop beating ourselves. You know, we have to stay prepared. We have to stay vigilant. We have to do the work, but we cannot defeat ourselves because we're already defeated. And that's the biggest problem. We have to encourage, we have to uplifts, and we have to, speak positively, about ourselves and about others. So, again, JR, I have one of the biggest things that you said that really bothered me was just people thinking that a man-made title in a man-made location makes you feel like you can speak down to anybody else. So, to all the coaches that are coaching in middle school, in church leagues, in rec leagues, or just taking kids in their community and just teaching them drills, we thank you. You're doing the work of great men, and I look up to you. I learn from you, and I honor you. Whether you're 5'1" or you're 7'1", you have value because God created you. I can't create somebody. I can't say, let there be man to be 6'9", 225, or obviously I had a whole team full of them. But you know what I can do? I can say, God, you want me to talk to that person, you want me to mentor that person, I will follow your command. And I wish more people would have that mindset, because then you would have an army of people where we will live in a safer world for our younger generation, and our younger generation can learn and continue the cycle, so forth and so on.
Coach, let's at least know who your players are, coach. I'm proud you know who your guys are, coach. I'm proud of that.
Hey, more importantly, JR, I know where they come from. I
That
know
too.
how to speak to them. I know where they come from. I know how to speak to them because each one is different. Each one has a story, and just same like me, same like my staff. But you got to get to know them, JR. You got to take the time. I appreciate you getting to know me and not judging me, you know? I appreciate that.
No, I didn't judge you by your record, coach, like some people would have done.
Well, you know, you again, and I've had to learn this lesson because that bothered me just because of where I came from. But at the end of the day, God put me here. So, you know, whatever God has for me, I'm good with.
Yeah, coach, like, yeah, man. Like I said, I didn't judge you by your record. I hit everybody up in your conference. Record be darned.
Well, you know, you are in the minority, but like I said, God still has me here, and no matter what gets taken away from you, God will always reimburse you double fold. So I am blessed, and I appreciate you, JR. And again, I'm just speaking from a lowly, short ass Division II coach.
Yeah, coach, and your shirt doesn't is very profound because you know this. Even though I am established in over a decade, for me to get credentials is still not easy. I have to fight through hoops and jump through hoops to get credentials. It's never just always all good. It's
How
yes,
many years you been doing this?
dang near 15. And because I'm independent black media, I'm backed by myself. So everything was scrutinized. And I'm like, man, look, it is what it is. And I'm not lying about it. It's just what it is. Like, I have to jump through hoops. You know what I'm saying? But those who are corporately back can not show up, and they're still good. You know what I mean? They ain't got to prove themselves. They just, because they work at Radio 1, they're good. Not showing up. You know what I'm saying? But me, every little thing is like scrutinized. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but I'm not complaining. I'm just stating the fact that when you're independently back, you're your own man. It's a whole nother level scrutiny. That's why if you can't handle the nose, the hoops, the BS you encounter with trying to be your own man in the media and deal with these professional teams, don't get in the business. That's all I'm gonna say. Because even me, almost 15 years in, have to still jump the hoops, improve myself. Which I mean, is it annoying sometimes? Yes. But if I want to do what I love, have to jump through these hoops. Now, if it was my regular life, you know what I would be like. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, deuces. You know what I mean? So, but I just want to tell y'all, like, anytime I go cover a game, not the Atlanta Hawks, it's probably been a struggle to get there. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
And you do everything out of your own pocket.
Yes, there's nobody to reimburse JR but JR. You know what I mean? So when I'm out here doing notary or taxes or a consultant, it's paying for me to go travel because I don't have the backup of a Radio 1 or Cumulus Media to reimburse my travel. I reimburse myself.
And you're gonna be doing this whole thing all over again this weekend, correct?
Yeah, I'm leaving Atlanta, the Braves game on Saturday, going to Nashville, getting up, going to Indianapolis, come back to Nashville after the game, come back to Atlanta on Monday.
Wow. Kind of like what I talked about with the birds every morning. You go there and you work, but
Yeah,
thank God, 15 years in, you go through hoops, but thank God, 15 years in, that's how you feed your family and feed yourself. Where you
yeah,
can do it through media your way,
yeah,
your way.
yes,
You're your own boss.
yes. That's why I said I can platform Coach Gayle because I own the show. Because if I work for a station, they'll tell me H no. But since I work for myself,
JR, why are you talking to a Division II coach?
yeah,
What's wrong with you?
I can have Coach Gayle on the show if I want to. Want to. I can do that. You hear me? Open some of you shows too. And you didn't want it. So I won't hear this crap no more. But so it's a blessing to do a show with Coach Gayle. And I don't care if you're short. That's my brother. He's my guy. So we're gonna make great radio together and have a great guest and give you great content. And we're on this show and make our fans, even our biggest fan, happy every week.
Hey, listen, shout out Muggsy Bogues, who growing up from Dunbar High School, Wake Forest, Charlotte Hornets, shout out Muggsy Bogues that, a lot of people like me, now obviously we looked up to and we thought he did great things, but you know what was really great about Muggsy? Not because he was the most unselfish player that I've seen play in the league, not because he was one of the best defensive players that no one could post up, but he had such a great heart. And he did so much because of where he came from. Where he came from in Baltimore, not an easy life. And you were talking about, Coach. You're sorry if you're short. There's a lot of great people like Muggsy Bogues that did more than just inspire guys like me through basketball. But they showed that don't let anybody or anything dictate where God has for you. And I'll leave it at that.
And as your shirt says, again, nothing easy. This thing like nothing easy.
Nothing easy.
So we're
wouldn't want it any other way because that's how God had created me, and that's how God will have my path.
No doubt. We're in it there, folks. JR, Coach Gayle, we're out.